Hello everyone! So we are continuing on with our science themed week this week, and I'm going to be drawing some bacteria. So what we're going to do is imagine that we are looking through a microscope and we have a Petri dish here full of bacteria. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a basic outline of a circle. Now it probably would be a better idea to get a compass involved or to just trace around a plate or something round, but I forgot to bring something over here with me and I really can't be bothered to go and get something now. So this will do. I have a circle, but feel free to trace around something if you want this to be a little bit neater. I also don't have a pencil over here with me today. I decided I'm just going to go straight ahead and use, I have a black biro, sort of medium thickness black pen and a slightly thicker black Sharpie. Now all of these are not water soluble, so when I add some nice watercolours to these later to give a sort of nice blended effect, none of these will smudge, so they will stay just as they are. So I'm going to start the timer and I'm going to see how many bacteria I can fit in my Petri dish. Okay, so Alexa, set the timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my first cell. Now, you don't have to be super precise with these. As you can see, this is not an oval or a circle, it's sort of a strange ovalish shape, but it's all a bit sort of squashed and wonky. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple the same, just for ease and also for a nice repetition in my picture. So it's easier to do the same thing a few times to fill up space rather than have to think of an original design 20 times over. So we've got a couple of these over here. Now, that pen's not working too well, so I might switch. Now let's have a couple of just plain black circles that we can then add some little arms coming out of with a dot on the end, just keeping it nice and simple, but the beauty is going to be in the repetition and in the simplicity of the design. We'll add some nice colours later to really jazz it up. Okay, so I've got 3 of those, same sort of thing. What else can I do? Right, let's have another sort of circular shape, this time a bit more round. Okay, just getting that cell wall in there. And this time I'm going to do some little kind of curly things coming off. Okay. All the way around. I might also add another shape inside. Just a simple shape like that. Now I'm going to repeat this same design again over here for some continuity. Now I just looked up some simple, I just literally went onto Pinterest and had a look at bacteria illustrations, so you could have a look as well and see what kind of designs that you find on the internet, but you can also kind of play around, be imaginative, come up with your own unique designs. This isn't, doesn't have to be exact, does it? So let's have another look. I think I'm going to do, okay, let's do a couple of these, and I'm going to repeat circles inside of these. So I'm working really, really quickly, but you can take a bit more time over this. Just filling up that shape with loads of small circles. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in 5 minutes. Give myself arm ache over here. Okay. Nearly there. Now you could use a pencil first for all of these designs if you weren't feeling very confident and you wanted to make sure you really got it right, but I just wanted to use the pen so that you could see exactly what I'm doing. I find it's kind of difficult to see the pencil on camera. Okay, almost done. Phew. They're a bit labour intensive. Now, let's have a look. So now what I want to do is a kind of a messy blob. And what I want is some kind of shapes coming out from this that are, I don't even know how you would describe them. It's like a paint spill. And some coming out from around here too. You could be really kind of creative and you could make all these little bacteria have faces and do your own little quirky designs. Now these I'm going to do some small little ovals just sitting inside of them, almost like pips from an orange when they're cut open. And let's have some kind of shape inside this. Oh, Alexa, stop the timer. Okay, so that's pretty full, but ideally we would have had, I think, a few more. As I said, you can take as long or as short as you like in filling these in. I'm just going to show you another couple of designs just to give you a bit more choice. So this sort of circular shape, and it's got the stem coming out with a little oval on it all the way around. Almost looks like a little mushroom growing out from there. Let's just add a couple of those in. Hang on, Oz, I'm just making a video. I'll be with you in a minute. They want snacks. All right. You can get something that you can find for yourself. Do you want to do that? Goodness knows what they are going to find for themselves with free reign in the pantry. So I'm just going to fill this up with a sort of a cell cluster in the middle. Yes, my dearest. Yeah, go for it. Okay, now what can we do in this sort of empty space around here? I feel like it looks a little bit barren. Let's just do a couple of really simple sort of circular and oval shapes. Okay, that will just add a little bit of detail. Okay, sweetie, well done. Okay, and I think we'll leave it there, and then we will add a little bit more detail with some colour. But like I said, you could go crazy and just fill this up as much as you like. I'm trying to do this in a very short space of time before my kids eat nothing but Pringles for dinner. I'm just going to trace around this Petri dish. Don't have to, but I just felt like that would be a good idea. Okay, now I'm going to grab some watercolour inks and I'm just going to make a little ink spill all over these. So I'll be back in a minute. Yes, please. In the recycling. Okay, so I'm back and I have these awesome watercolour inks that I'm going to be using to add a little bit of colour to this artwork. So what I have done is put a few drops of each colour into this palette, added probably 1 part ink for 2 parts water, just so they're not too intense and so as not to waste them. Now I don't really want a really neat, precise effect for these bacteria. I really want them to flow and kind of blend into each other. So I'm actually wetting the paper first. Now you can see that some of that biro has actually gone a bit greyish, so it wasn't quite as water resistant as I had thought that was going to be. Usually black biro is. So it's always a good idea to just try out your colours, try out your materials on a scrap piece of paper first. Now you can see these inks are really just melting and blending into each other, and this is exactly the kind of effect that I wanted to achieve for this. Now if you find you've overwet your paper, just dab it with a tissue. You can lift a bit of the water off, or even a bit of the colour off if you decide you would like to reveal a bit more white over there. So obviously if you mix colours which are opposite each other on the colour wheel, they will make brown. So if you stick with mixing colours next to each other, or placing colours next to each other which are neighbours on the colour wheel, they'll make really nice mixed and blended colours. Again, if you start to notice something is going wrong with your colours, you don't like the effect, you can just dab it with tissue and try and lift some of that off. So I think it's looking pretty good. I tried to do this as quickly as I could. I think I spent about 6 minutes adding the colour to this. So you can spend longer and you can be more precise and use a drier brush if you want to, but I think this is a pretty cool effect overall. So I hope you will give it a go. If you don't have inks, you can use food colouring or diluted paint. That would work just as well. Okay, so I just want to show you this lovely strawberry from Alex. Look at the amazing detail he's added to this picture. We also have this absolutely stunning Easter bunny here from Yulia, and another super cool bunny from her little brother Jack. Well done guys, keep them coming.